Please pause for the moment of silence. Please stand for the pledges. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now for the Texas Pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
On Friday, the United States and the Taliban have agreed on a temporary truce that has potential to open the door to bring U.S. troops home from Afghanistan and end an 18-year war. This truce would call for discussion between Afghans on both sides of the conflict starting in March, which would lead to a countrywide ceasefire and commitment from both the Taliban not to harbor any terrorist groups like Al-Qaeda. The deal would also set a timetable for the withdrawal of U.S. troops. A Taliban official says that the February 29th has been put aside for the signing of the U.S.-Taliban peace agreement. A formal announcement about this deal is expected to be released sometime this week.
On Thursday, the Center of Disease Control announced that a patient in San Antonio tested positive for the coronavirus. This is the 15th case in the United States. The patient was a part of a group of people who were under a federal quarantine order at the JBSA Lackland base because of a recent trip to Hubei province in China. The individual was immediately taken to a nearby designated hospital to receive medical care and is now isolated for the safety of others. Last Friday, Democratic candidate Bernie Sanders appeared in the DFW area and held a rally in Mesquite ahead of the Texas primary, which is set to take place on March 3rd. Sanders' campaign approximates that 5,300 people were present. Although he is currently polling first, the Texas Democratic vote has been highly volatile throughout this campaign season, and it is anybody's game. Sanders flew to Nevada next to rally to support ahead of the Nevada primary, which is set for this Saturday.
Today is President's Day, a federal holiday celebrated on the third Monday of February. This day is not only honors George Washington, who was born on the 22nd, and Abraham Lincoln, who was born on the 12th, but all of the presidents who have served the United States. And speaking of the presidents, although we have done our Black History Month celebrations every Tuesday and Thursday, today calls for special recognition of number 44, the first African American ever to hold the office of the President of the United States.
In 2008, President-elect Barack Obama won the country with a percentage of 52.9 to win the election and become the first African-American and minority president, making him the 44th president of the United States. He was a Columbia graduate and moved into organizing communities in Chicago, where he met Michelle Robinson. They married in 1992 and had 2 daughters. After he spent 3 terms in the state Senate, he ran to become a U.S. Senator in 2004. 4 years later, he ran for office, advancing as the Democratic Party's nomination and ran against John McCain. He won the presidential election and served 2 terms until 2016.
The Education and Coaching Pathway is opening up classes for next year in its instructional practice courses. If teaching or coaching is for you and you're interested in getting a jump start in your career by being a student teacher in high school, this course is for you. For more information, stop by Miss Hamby's room 817 to pick up a course request form link. This form must be completed by next Friday, February 28th. Speaking of education, some representatives from the University of Texas at Rio Grande Valley in Oklahoma State are visiting today during all lunch periods near the West Office. If either of these colleges pique your interest, make sure to stop by and get some valuable information.
Last Friday, AP Chemistry and IPC students hosted 6th graders from Pike for a day of science celebrations as a part of the We Heart Science program. Students participated in labs covering all sciences, including technology. The lab activities included heart dissection, flame tests, catapults, silver mirroring, and so much more. Students were also given a chance to learn how to use a Hitachi electron scanning microscope, which they were able to obtain thanks to an NEF grant. This is just another example of the amazing opportunities our students have here at Northwest. Now, two students in Ms. Padalecki's Invest class, Henry and Brianna, take you into the Glade in this week's Book of the Week.
Thank you. I'm here with some of the students from Ms. Padalecki's Invest class to talk about The Maze Runner. So in your class, I heard that you guys are starting to read like books now, like together and stuff. Can you describe about that?
It's a lot more better when we're reading as a group because, we're all just like focused on one thing. And, whenever you're reading by yourself, it's just like, oh, it's kind of, for me, it's a lot more distracting. And I'm like, oh, I just totally forgot what I just read. So when Miss P reads, it's just a lot more easier and a lot more better.
Okay. And can you describe like the book? Like, how is it? Like, what's it about?
It's kind of intense and really, like mysterious. We don't know what's, going on. And sometimes it's just like, oh, this new thing pops up and it's just kind of crazy. It's kind of overwhelming too. So.
What do you think about the book?
I think it's a great book. I watched the movie a couple years ago, but it gives me listening to the book gives me a way more insight into like minor details that probably were never even mentioned in the movie. So, yeah, I like it being told to me in a nice, easy way.
Okay, and the way you can get this is like going to the library and stuff because that's how you guys did. What was it? You got it from the library and you voted out?
Yeah, we got so the librarian took a couple books over to our class, and then we voted as a group which one we wanted to read, and we all just picked The Maze Runner.
Okay. Thank you so much, and I heard it's a good book, and it's exciting to read. Thank you. Back to you, anchors.
Thanks, Henry and Brianna. The Glade might be a controlled environment with a controlled climate, but North Texas sure isn't. Ryan, what's the weather looking like for today?
Well, Raydon, you're right, because it's hard to tell the patterns when this weather is constantly changing. We have a warm start to this Monday. It'll be in the 70s and mostly sunny, but looking at this week, there'll be some clouds that move in, actually some altostratus clouds that give us an overcast feel for most of the days. There's a slight chance of rain on Tuesday and Wednesday, and maybe a chance for some morning showers on Thursday, but a cool down to be coming after that. That's basically the rundown for the week, but Shelby, our wrestling team competed at their regional meet this weekend. What can you tell us?
Well, Ryan, the wrestling team had some pretty big wins. They had 7 state qualifiers in total and 2 alternates, with our girls finishing 3rd overall with a final score of 113 and the boys finishing 5th with a score of 107. And Coach Kirby got a prize of his own, winning the Girls Assistant Coach of the Year award. A huge congratulations to all those involved. On Friday, the boys basketball team took on the Lake Dallas Falcons here at home in the last home game of their season. The boys fought hard and maintained a 10-point lead almost the whole game and would end victorious, winning 70-56. The boys will play one more game this season tomorrow night at Denton High School at 7 o'clock. The Texan track and field team went out to Byron Nelson over the weekend to race in the first meet of their season. Many of our runners and throwers got new personal bests and even placed. There will be another meet this Saturday. The boys and girls soccer team will play tomorrow night against the Little Elm Lobos. The boys will be away and the girls will play here at home at 7 o'clock. The girls come into this game after a 1-0 win over the Braswell Bengals. I'll see you back here on Wednesday for another sports update.
On tomorrow's show, Cooper reveals how far technology in the auto industry has come in Tech Talk.
And an insight on a theater performance that will leave you and the performers speechless.
Have a great Monday. This has been NHSTV Live.